Welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio. Time for our monthly chat with our friends at the Oklahoma Film and Music Office. Dave Morris here alongside Tava Sofsky. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you as always.
Lots of good news to chat about, including the big movie hit from Oklahoma to Hollywood, I can only imagine. Also joining us today, Mandy Davis with the Heart of Oklahoma Chamber to talk about some movies that is happening in your neck of the woods. Very nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Straight out of Nashville, joining us via Skype. There you see him, the man himself, the rock star, Zack Maloy. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Zack will be chatting here briefly, or shortly, I should say, about the upcoming Songwriters Festival. But as always, Tava, we lead off with you and kind of a recap of what has happened in the past 4 weeks since we last chatted, including the big hit there, I Can Only Imagine, which came out the gate strong.
It came out really strong. I think it far exceeded anyone's expectations, including the producers and the filmmakers themselves, and the band Mercy Me, which that song was told about.
And I guess that's the thing we should recap in case people don't know about it.
In case people don't know, right.
Shot and filmed around here. Bang, there you see some
Yeah, so
footage.
Mercy Me, the band, Christian faith band, they wrote a hit song, Bart Millard, called I Can Only Imagine, and it has been the #1 Christian song of all time, and it is still charting. Matter of fact, someone sent me an email late last night, that it's been crowned some new sort of made some new status just because of the movie.
You got to think it got a bump off of this.
It got a huge bump, just like hundreds of thousands of new downloads and new buys and things like that. So anyway, the song basically tells the story behind Bart Millard's life, and it opened in theaters March 16th. Nationwide in about 1,600 theaters. It opened with a $17 million box office hit number, and it was trailblazing right behind Black Panther and Tomb Raider. However, it was the #1 hit at the box office per screen average, because those films had obviously several thousand more theaters that they opened in. So we're pretty proud of that, as the filmmakers are. And then they added about 600 theaters the second weekend. The numbers increased even more, leading to now current day they're in about 2,600 theaters, and they've surpassed a $55 million box office gross, which is huge for an indie film. The budget was $7 million, so they didn't spend quite all of that in state, but still, nonetheless, that's a lower budget indie film. So it is doing well. They're very happy. I mean, they're clearly putting more money back into the marketing and getting it out there. So we premiered it here in Oklahoma on March 14th, a couple days before the nationwide release. We had a lot of our lawmakers come down to the Warren and more and see that, and it definitely, I think, helped the mindsets of a lot of even our legislators and just a lot of people to see, oh wow, this good story was made in Oklahoma that has deep roots here, because the band, in essence, got their start in Oklahoma and in the 90s, and that song was written while they spent a lot of time here. So having that kind of come full circle was really special, and it left a really good impression to people, so they could see the value of, and how big that, just a small investment that the state can make in a film with the incentive program, that how really globally that this can take Oklahoma as far as our state's image and getting Oklahoma on the map to a wider audience.
That's something we should probably underscore here, is there is this tax incentive, that
cash rebate
that can be taken advantage of, and tax rebate that can be taken advantage of, and that this is an example.
Yeah, it's a perfect example that it's not only enhancing our state's image, but it's actually, and we'll talk about that with Mandy, because they come in and they invest and they spend their money in Oklahoma. So anything that the state incentivizes, it's a rebate on the actual money that they spend to hire crew and caterers and rent equipment. Everything is a local spend for them in order to get the rebate. So it's very positive. Our incentive program, even since I've seen you, we have never had 7 productions going on at once. One that's still filming today we'll talk about, and Mandy will talk about. They just had a little tenure in Purcell in her neck of the woods called the Turkey Bowl, but that is one of 7 simultaneously going on around the state in a lot of different communities. So so I can say that this month. I might not be able to say that next month. You know, they come and they go, they wrap out. And we have a lot of new ones coming into the program that'll roll out this summer as well. But it's been a really successful time this season, just to see so many productions going on, and I can't wait to hear more about Turkey Bowl and what they really kind of how they came to Oklahoma and how they found some of their filming locations. So Mandy can tell us a little bit about that.
And she's got the swag.
I do. Our community has had so much fun on this project. And first, I just want to thank Tava and her team. They have been phenomenal to work with, and we have just had a really good time kind of checking something off of our bucket list that we never thought in our small but mighty community could ever happen. So
Hollywood?
I know. It's been a lot of fun. Greg Coolidge, who is a Norman native, he wrote a script about a small town in Oklahoma and the roots of football and coming back home. And when he and his team kind of scouted locations, they fell in love with Purcell. And they came in and talked to us about the different opportunities. One of the things that they really loved was our old-fashioned football field with our bleachers, and that you literally sit on grass in our bleachers. And we have a beautiful downtown. And so it was really neat to see our community rally together. They had a parade scene where we had over 350 community members on a Monday afternoon come down and participate, and had so much fun, from our cheerleaders to our state award-winning marching band.
Nice.
Everybody participated. We had our ambassadors with our chamber made floats. Our business owners on Main Street were so incredibly gracious with their time, and they decorated their windows. And our Purcell Main Street literally looked like Thanksgiving at Easter. It was kind of ironic. So we had a few people traveling through that wondered what happened to the Purcell Dragons. They are still there. We did not change our mascot, nor did we change the name of our town, but we did transform into the town of Putnam for that week, actually 2 weeks, for that. And you can see here, Badger Red, Knock 'em Dead. We had a local t-shirt company who had the idea of, if it was a local parade, we would have everybody in t-shirts and supporting our team. So we sold over 225 of those t-shirts. We thought we might sell 50.
It's a memento, right?
It is. It's a keepsake. It's something to make sure that you can go back and go, hey, I did that. I participated in that. So it's been a really good venture for us, and something that our community really appreciates the opportunity to do. And like I said, without people like Tava and her team bringing attention to rural Oklahoma and putting it on the big screen, we just really value that. So thank you so much.
Well, it's our locations department, and crew too. They go far and wide. They see the vision from the director, and then they don't just show them, the easiest location to get to, or, just the top two that come to their minds. They really comb the state and get out there and show the creatives a lot of options. And yeah, you're right. Greg and he just fell in love with that area, with Purcell and then Noble, and then obviously wanted to do some in Norman. So they're filming there today, actually, and this was sort of a little bit pre-planned to also get the word out that they are still looking for extras for their scenes in Norman, big football scenes again. Coach Switzer, he's actually the coach in the movie,
Nice.
again, called the Turkey Bowl. It's a great cast. They're obviously employing a ton of our local crew, and so you can go to our social media to look for that if you want to get more information, to head out, put your red and white or blue and white
That's
colors
right.
on,
Right.
and dress warm, because it's fall. We're still in Thanksgiving season.
Gotta stay in character.
Yes.
Norman's getting a little bit of the love too, and it just goes to show you too that they're looking for one thing, and they stumble into a new community, and look what that did for your community. And I don't know if you can measure the impact yet, the effects of them spending not just their time on Main Street, but going and filling up gas tanks and and some of the ancillary shopping or restaurants. I'm not sure if you can measure that yet, but a lot of the communities that have supported the different films, they love to brag about that and sort of the sense of pride that it brings.
Absolutely.
So, and didn't you get like your street sweeper featured in?
I know everything from our community street sweeper was highlighted in the movie, and we'll have a key role. I know, we just bought it at Christmas and updated, and it now will be on the big screen. But yes, I mean, our local merchants, our retailers and restaurateurs all have been very complimentary of the staff and crew and cast coming in, and everybody's been so gracious to work with.
Mandy, this actually filmed, the Turkey Bowl filmed a few scenes here in downtown Oklahoma City. I came to work a few weeks ago and drove past the jewelry store BC Clark, and there's the big lights and all the big trucks out there, a lot of crew. So I'm like, well, I need to check this out. So I walk down there. He's like, it's the Turkey Bowl. It's about guys getting back together and playing football. And okay, I walk over to Leadership Square. There's more crew. There's more expensive-looking cameras, and I can imagine that is what besieged your town, was that.
Yes, I mean, we literally transformed into a movie studio for a couple of weeks, and and it was really neat to see everyone from every age demographic and every part of our community kind of come together and have fun and create that sense of something positive that we can get behind as a community. So it was really, really neat, and an experience, even an educational experience for our kids to be able to see how the movie industry works. And by the time we were on the 10th take of the same scene, they were like, oh my goodness, I never knew that. I have a whole new appreciation of what that means. So,
Mandy, before we segue out of this, tell us more about the Heart of Oklahoma Chamber.
Sure. So the Heart of Oklahoma Chamber actually represents 5 different communities. We have Purcell, Lexington, Washington, Wayne, and Goldsby. And the Heart of Oklahoma Chamber really serves 4 functions. The first of which is economic development, which is bringing to light different economic opportunities and trying to pull in different businesses and industries to our area. The second of which is our community development or quality of life initiative, which is where parades and festivals and those types of things come into play. Third, we have our there's our website right there. Yes. Third, we have the membership development, and we do a lot of training for our member businesses and also networking for them to be able to pull together their resources to make themselves stronger. And then finally, tourism, and that's really where we are so proud to have had this movie filmed and the attention that it brought to Purcell. I mean, look at that. We have just a beautiful, beautiful Main Street and downtown area that really captures the heart of Oklahoma and the essence of the heartland. So we were proud to showcase that.
It's good stuff. When this movie comes out, you guys are going to be like, I know exactly where that is. I know that location.
That's right.
I remember that. All the memories that'll be associated with those locations. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. And as I said before, we've got 6, 7 going on right now, because we have one that just wrapped and another one that starts tomorrow in a new community. We're not talking about that one yet. There's always a couple that we can't talk about until after they wrap, but that's exciting. So some other communities are getting some attention as well. But in the past 2 weeks, when we have been, and my team and I have been traveling out to go visit one set, like we see another one on the way. It's like it's getting to be, it's getting to be exciting around here. So a lot happening.
You bring up a good point. It's exciting and all that, but there really is the economic value. There's a business and a bottom line to this.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I was visiting with some OCCC students this morning, Oklahoma City Community College. Some students this morning that were asking me a lot of questions about the incentive program and why is it so special, and things like that. And it's like most any state that wants to be considered a place of doing business they should and need to diversify the economy in different industries. And I was telling these students, I mean, you like to build sets, and if the construction industry is a little bit weak or dry, you can come over and build sets on a movie, or there's just a lot of different opportunity in this industry that has a huge ripple effect. So yeah, so we're pretty proud to have a strong industry right now, and it's couldn't be happier with that.
So that's a look at some of the film activities from the past 4 weeks and ongoing across Oklahoma. Let's segue into some music and bring Zack Maloy in. Before we bring in Zack, though, coming up this Friday, the ACM at UCO, the Metro Music Festival, I believe, right?
Metro Fest,
Metro
for
Fest,
sure.
okay.
Yeah, so that is, it's put on by the school, ACM at UCO, the Academy of Contemporary Music, down in Bricktown, and they pretty much transform Bricktown for the whole day, from starting at 4 o'clock until midnight. You should have the bill right there. You can access and see all of the artists. So the notion behind that, Scott Booker does an amazing job, and his team there at the school, putting this on year after year, and we're a proud partner of it. But what it is, I mean, they have Mavis Staples as headlining, so she's the headliner for the whole festival, and then they have other artists coming in to play. But the point is that those students that come out of the school that are currently students there, they get to open for these amazing other headliners, and so just to have that experience for them, it's there's a lot of great music. There's too many to name. A lot of great locals that will be playing, and others coming in. So hopefully it'll warm up in Bricktown for those who want to get out and just listen to some good music and see Mavis. Yeah.
Speaking of talented local musicians, patiently, from Nashville, Zack Molloy still there on Skype. Good to see you, Zack.
Good to be here. Thank you.
We teased it off the top, Tava, the Songwriters Festival. It's coming back.
It's coming back, third year.
April 14th.
April 14th, yeah. So our office, the Film and Music office, we're a proud returning sponsor for Oklahoma Songwriters Festival, and we'll talk about some other ones after Zack. But this just started from a seed that was planted early on when I came into office in 2014 of the music industry. Everybody talks about we need to build this music industry. Well, I mean, it's happening. It's growing literally before our eyes, and having all these wonderful festivals around the state, and we try to partner and provide some different educational opportunities at them. But Zack kind of hit when we were just chatting early on a few years ago. He kind of hit it, and he said, songwriting is really the core. I mean, it's the seed of it. I mean, without that, you don't have a business, right? And so to complement what we already have in Oklahoma, Zack decided to bring this festival here. So I'll let him talk about it, and sort of how it's evolved over 3 years, and what's going to happen, what we're going to get to expect this year. So I'd love to hear more from him.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me, and Tava, thank you to your office. I can echo what Mandy said, how important your office and your team is to the state, film industry, but music as well. And like Tava said, it really was, it was a conversation I had with Tava and a few of her colleagues, and it was a simple question of how can you make the music business a little bit better in the state of Oklahoma? And I am a humble songwriter, and so my idea was bring in a handful of my guys in from Nashville, I call them my guys, and do some actual songwriting. So there'll be songwriting sessions behind the scenes with some local songwriters that are going to get the opportunity to write with someone like Bob DiPiero, who's coming this year. He's in the Songwriter Hall of Fame. He's had 15 #1 songs. Scooter Caruso, coming from Nashville. Myself, I haven't had 15 #1s, but I've had a couple. And my wild card is Jaret Reddick, who is, if you came to the last couple years, you know that there were artist songwriters, Levi Hammond last year, J.D. McPherson the year before. Jaret Reddick is the front man for Bowling for Soup, and before you write them off as a silly pop punk band, I can tell you that they've been nominated for a Grammy. They've had several #1 songs, and they're still actively out there touring. And he's a great songwriter. He actually wrote the theme song to Phineas and Ferb, so I can't wait to hear the story behind that song. So anyway, so that's the lineup that I'm bringing in. There'll be some panel discussions Saturday morning at Tower at 10 a.m., followed by Q&A that I keep telling people the Q&A I think lasted like 2 hours last year. So we're perfectly happy to sit and talk to aspiring songwriters And then Saturday evening is sort of the crown jewel event that is now moved into the Tower Theater. We're super excited. It's a beautiful, beautiful room. We'll sort of set the room up in a little bit more intimate way. There'll be seats. It'll be I call it a Bluebird style songwriter showcase. If you've ever been to a place called the Bluebird Theater here in Nashville or a place like it.
It's a famous place.
Very famous.
It's amazing, and it's a listening room. I've played the Bluebird a few times, and it's an honor to play there. We're sort of bringing that feel to Oklahoma City. And so I'm super excited about my guys that are coming in. We got hotels booked and everything's ready. 21C is our partner hotel this year, so shout out to them. We're actually going to do a private dinner at the Grand Casino Hotel and Resort. They're our big sponsor. Chad and everyone out there are truly committed to making waves in music for the state of Oklahoma. So I can't wait. And I can tell you a little bit more about the Saturday evening show. The local component is going to be bigger than ever. We'll do the writer round with us, me, Bob, Jaret, and Scooter. But then before that, as an opening, we're going to do a mini local round. And these names are amazing. Tava and Lindsay send me names of people to check out, and then I reach out to different people. And Graham Colton's been involved in years past, so he'll whisper a name in my ear. And funny, Levi Parham and Andy Adams' names just kept coming up. And I kept listening to their music, and I'm kind of a fan now. Like on a run yesterday, every other song was some current Oklahoma artist. So Levi, Andy Adams, Emily Faith, and I can just say that as of this morning, Shauna Russell and Kahlo are going to be joining the local round. So it's going to be kind of amazing to have a bigger local component, which I saw Tava clapping, and I have to agree. It's definitely a good thing.
It's coming up April 14th, a Saturday at Tower Theater, and Tower Theater will be a great venue for this.
Oh yeah, I mean it's amazing. Chad and those guys have a huge fan following already. It's a beautiful place to, old place to walk into that's been transformed. I think it'll be a perfect fit for Zack Songwriters Festival, and to have this opportunity for. It's an outlet. I mean, we're calling it the Songwriters Camp on Saturday that Zack talked about, that will also be at the Tower starting at 10 a.m. But to have that opportunity where songwriters can just walk their door and get firsthand, just really great, wise advice from these guys, and then the Q&A, like he said. There's also going to be, if you go to the camp, there's also going to be a drawing for some special someone to get chosen to have a private mentor lunch with Zack following the camp. Zack doesn't like to just, to sit around and do nothing. I mean, while he's here, he's writing with our locals and working, and networking and things like that. So that'll be exciting. So check that out on our website or our social media. And then we're super excited about the 5 Oklahoma artists. And he was alluding to how Lindsay and I in our office, we're trying to help shine the light on some of our local talent. This year we did a songwriters contest. We call it an open call, and so we kind of cast the net, if you will, out really wide, and so several of those artists put their name in the hat, and Zack listened to. So he's listened to I don't know how many we had. A lot of people that applied. He's, like he said, he's listened to Oklahoma music on his runs now. So it'll be a great opportunity for some of our local talent to get to write with those guys. So we're excited. Yeah.
Zack, I have a question for you. For musicians, artists, anyone who attends this, what advice would you throw their way of how to best take advantage of this opportunity at the festival?
I mean, I keep saying this, and it's hyperbole, but it's not. This is a one-of-a-kind thing for the state of Oklahoma. It just is. There will be shows where you can go and see songwriters perform their songs. The Blue Door is a fabulous room, and there are other really great rooms like it. But not for guys like I'm bringing in who have, like I said, had multiple Grammys between the group. I can say between the group, multiple Grammys. You don't have to count mine. You can just say that there have been.
It's a lot of Grammys. Come on.
The morning thing is, I should say, free. Just come, and you're gonna. I mean, literally, we will stand around and chat with you, until we have to go to our next event. But then, I should say for the Saturday evening event, it's really kind of more of the same. It's not just a show. people that just want to come, like my uncle from Ardmore's coming up, and he'll enjoy the heck out of the show because he's going to get to hear Bob DiPiero sing Southern Voice, which was a #1 song for Tim McGraw. I'll sing some Nixon songs. By the way, a couple of my Nixon's compadres are going to jump up on stage with me for another little mini Nixon's reunion on Saturday night. But it's really also the stories behind the songs. And to hear last year, Tava, you can attest to this, Marcus Hummon tell the story behind Bless the Broken Road. You just get chills repeatedly, like over and over and over. And I think it's going to be, you know, one of the strongest lineups. Again, that local component is huge, and I'm proud of that. But also just a show with 4 guys on stage to close the show out that have literally had #1 songs with, you know, Tim McGraw, Reba McEntire, Kenny Chesney, then also Skillet, Daughtry, Three Doors Down, Bowling for Soup, the Nixons. It's the genres are really pretty cool this year. I think last year leaned a little more just country, but when I went to buy advertisement for radio, the couple people I reached out to said, "What station?" And I said, "All of them, kind of." So yeah, that to answer your question, aspiring songwriters, it's sort of a must. Like, I think you're making a huge mistake to not come to both events. Make a day out of it. And the other cool part is that the last 2 years, I can tell you that relationships have been forged with Oklahoma talent, not just songwriters. Like, we had one guy that put together a demo for us, just a local Oklahoma engineer that helped. And my guys from here have kept in touch with him and sent him work to cut some demos. There's a couple mixing guys in town that I still use in Oklahoma City and in Tulsa. So that was the other thing. It's an event that you got to come to, but also it's a creation of a forging of a relationship, and now a continued relationship between Nashville and Oklahoma. Truly.
Love it.
Yeah. It's coming up Saturday, April 14th at Tower Theater. You can go to various places to find more information about it, including okfilmmusic.org.
And maybe the Oklahoma Songwriters Festival.com, Zach?
Yep, OklahomaSongwritersFestival.com for tickets and info and all kinds of stuff. I should say, by the way, Mandy, I marched on that football field once upon a time.
Oh, really?
So you know, good for you. I was sort of picturing it in my mind's eye that must have been a fun thing for you guys.
It is an epic
small town
stadium.
Oklahoma guy, so it's cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And you probably ran on the track too against Lance McDaniel.
That's right, Lance and I.
Third leg relay.
Lance and I competed a few times together. Yeah. So again, small town Oklahoma, we're all part of the same upbringing in that respect.
That's right. We're all one big family.
That's right.
One big family, but a talented family across the board in various genres. All right, time to wrap this up. Let everybody go. I know Zach in Nashville, which, by the way, we should say at the Songwriters Festival, he won't be there via Skype. He will be live in person.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate your time today via Skype.
Thank you.
From Nashville.
Thank you
Zach.
so much.
Thank you so much. All right, and Mandy Davis, great to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on all the film stuff. That's pretty cool.
It's been a fun adventure. We've really enjoyed it.
And there's more to come. I've already told her we've had more interest in Purcell already. I don't even know how that's possible, but it's possible. It's all things are possible.
All right, very good. You can find more conversations with Tava on our website at newsok.com. We've been doing this for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And again, okfilmmusic.org for more information, including the newsletter that they fire out for updated content straight to your inbox. Tava, always good to see you.
You too. There's some more music festivals we didn't get a chance to highlight, but Norman Music is coming up. Obviously down in Norman, April 26th through the 28th. That's free. Bob Childers Gypsy Cafe is May 2nd. That'll happen before I see you next. And yeah, we'll see you out this Friday at down in Bricktown. So
sounds good.
Go out and enjoy the music and the films.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mandy. Thank you, Zach.